Oh no, and high centering here opens up the right side and gets a long bar in A13, but can he survive this? Oh my goodness, and just kind of was dead dropping like 5 pieces in a row, and Jakob is good. Jakob got to bring this stack down. Tugi ahead by over 100,000 points with a good low stack, and no, Jakob's ward's going to be cut off. Jakob, though, gets a 1.16, doesn't matter in the match because Tugi is ahead and is going to sweep against Jakob, but a great performance. Greetings, Tetris citizens. It is your old pal, Vandy, back with more classic Tetris Monthly Masters event. Red bracket, the winner goes to the top 8. It's going to be either Huff or Tugi. Let us get them started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. We had a big contribution to the prize pool in the last 24 hours to get us up to $1,199.99. Thanks so much to Scott Gray for helping support the stream this and so many other months. Really appreciate that. If you want to help the prize pool, use the Matcherino command. On the left side of your screen, it is Huffaluffagus, a 2-time CTM Masters event winner. Huff was seed number 3, so in virtue of having a top 8 seed in this tournament, yeah, you don't have to play until the top 16. You get an automatic berth into the top 16. Everybody else is trying to play in to that top 16, fill those empty 8 slots. So Huff, with that qualifier, 1.633 million, that was the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period, gets to start in the top 16. So this is Huff's first match this month in this tournament. Huff with an overall PB of 4.899 million. That is good for about 15th on the overall PB leaderboard. Is ranked number 14 in the most recent Premier poll, which is a ranking monthly of the best competitive Tetris players. And you can see the full results over at premierpoll.com, Premier with an E at the end. Huffaluffagus is the former score world record holder. That was all the way back when the world record was 1.676. That was in November of 2021. 30th appearance this month in Masters for Huffaluffagus. 2 victories. Won the most recently won No Cap November in 2023. A 6-time gold bracket participant in CTWC. Was the runner-up in CTWC in 2021. Was top 4 the year before and has also 2 top 8 finishes, 2022 and 2023. And has played in a bunch of regionals, winner of WPL Columbus in 2022 and 2023. And you've seen him in Milwaukee, Blank's Garage, and won that. Remember when Honda Fan Cup was a thing? Remember, like, that was that one year? Yeah, Huffaluffagus won that. That was October of 2022. So that is Huffaluffagus. On the right side of your screen, it is Tugi. By the way, 304 for Huff, 288 for Tugi here in game number 1 of this best of 5. Tugi qualified in with a 1.37 million qualifier. And that got Tugi seed number 14. And then Tugi defeated Jakob in round 2 to get here to this round 3 top 16. Tugi from Austria has a PB of 2.27 million. That's good for about 37th on the overall list. Tugi is the former DAS score world record holder, currently 3rd on the DAS PB leaderboard. This is Tugi's 9th appearance in the Masters event, inclusive of Mega Masters. And Tugi has finished as high as top 16 multiple times, but most recently last month. So if Tugi can win this match, this would be his deepest run in Masters, so he's looking to do that. 455 for Tugi, 428 for Huffaluffagus. Tugi also a 3-time Mega Masters participant, 4-time CTWC Gold participant, was 4th in CTWC's DAS tournament in Cologne, Germany, the one that's coming up in a few weeks. Was 4th in 2022, top 8 in 2023. Also played in CTEC in the 2 online years, also the Austria regional, played in that the last 2 years as well. So Huffaluffagus with that's a board. So we'll see what Huff can do here. Kind of a diving board with a bunch of stuff on it. This is going to be tough. 549 for Tugi, 487 for Huffaluffagus. And yeah, he's working it down. You know, just row by row. 10 lines to go until that 19 transition. That speed increase. Now just 3 floating Minos on the side there. That I've never seen a board look like that before. So congratulations, Huff. You've done something I've never seen. And 1 burn to go. And the board actually fairly reasonable now. And he's going to take that double. Burning it away. 599 entry into 19 for Tugi. So just like 1,000 points shy of a 600k transition for Tugi. Huff is in also now at 511 through 138. So Huff going to survive just that crazy, bizarre looking board. Still not quite ready though to have a normal setup, but actually maybe going to try to build 4 dirty Tetrises. No, just going to take this down. 548 for Huff, 679 for Tugi. All right, Tugi with some kind of delayed burn setups here. Huff going column 4, gets a Tetris, 581. Tugi ahead by 100,000 points. And while Huff was playing up high, not out to too much of a line lead. They're just separated right now by, a couple lines. Actually, right now they're tied in lines. Tetris for Tugi on a good board gets set up again immediately, and another Tetris for Tugi. 755 for Tugi, 599 for Huffaluffagus. And Huff would love to get rid of that little gap in the stack, but he's going to work 1 row off the bottom. That S to the left does not get all the way over, and that is going to create some additional burning required for Huff to do to get out of this. Tugi, meanwhile, still super clean. 845 or 848 now through on level 25. Now, of course, we got 40 lines to go until 230 lines. That is where level 29 transition takes place. The speed is going to double. Then players will have 100 lines of that speed until the super kill screen kicks in. So really, just about 130 lines of usable, maybe usable if they can use it all. It's not trivial to play on 29 by any means. And Huff is set up for a 1 row off the bottom dirty Tetris in column 6 here on level 26. Trying to just keep it open. Long bar in Tetris Huff. And yeah, he's not taking triples. He is going for pace right now, trying to cut into that lead early. And another Tetris down the middle for Huff. He's going for it again on 28. Tetris for Tugi. Got the max out. Huff going for it again, and a Tetris into 29. So Huff with a bunch of dirty kind of center welly Tetrises on the way into 29 has cut this lead a bit, but it's still over a 200,000 point lead for Tugi. Okay, Huff gets a long bar over for a triple just to knock this stack back down. So the speed is now doubled. We're on level 30. There was a time when, you know, only an actual handful of players, well, not, you know, put players in your hands, but only a small number of players had even gotten to level 30, and now it's like all the time. All right, Huff is going to top out on level 31, and Tugi, you are good in game number 1. You can mullen it out a little bit if you want to. Another Tetris, Tugi. Huff says, forgot to say, good luck, have fun, Tugi. Well, maybe that is related to your result in this game. You got cursed. Right, there's a Tugi emote. Barrett has Tugi emotes. Oh, nice Tetris there for Tugi C66. All right, Tugi on the aggro mullen. This is game 1. Oh, yeah, this is only game 1. Tugi with the 1.35. And oh, yeah, this is going to break down. So that's going to be it. Game number 2. All right, starting off with the LISZT. It would have been cool LIS or LIZST, because that's a composer. That would have been good. What, Hungarian Rhapsody? All right, so Tugi maintained a pretty big lead the entire way in game number 1. We'll see what happens here in game number 2 against the 2-time Masters champ. And the Honda Fan Cup. I mean, I forgot all about the Honda Fan Cup 2022. Now, why hasn't that come back? We need the Honda Fan Cup to come back. We need Honda to be sponsoring Tetris. All right, Tetris for Tugi, 80,000, 94,000 for Huffaluffagus. Acidic Ascetic is in chat. Chan Walbant is here. Jasmine is here. Hunting for Vits. Magnavox, Barrett, 3s, 2s, Tolstoy, Pines Cutely, Cousin Avi, Fancy Mimi, Mojo Monkey. Did Huff win an actual Honda? I don't think they gave away a Honda, but you would, or maybe they did. I don't know. I don't even know what the winner got, but it seems like if you're Honda and you're sponsoring a video game tournament, you should be giving away a Honda. I mean, they're pretty cheap for you. Zuli's here. Jesus the Frog. Anjing is here. Blithering Tripe is here. All the stars are here. 213 for Huffaluffagus. 220 for Tugi. So hello, YouTube. Lori, Josh, Neto, Marktris, Black Ops. The usual gang over there on YouTube. He's only got 50 to 100 people on YouTube watching, but it's pretty much like 10 people chatting. So if you haven't chatted before over on YouTube, chat today. I want to see some new names chatting, but only if you're going to... I mean, God, why am I summoning YouTube people to chat? But but if you can say something nice or something at least neutral, then let's see some new chatters over on YouTube today. 311 for Huff, 289 for Tugi. All right, they're basically tied in score. You'll see that after Huff gets that Tetris. There it is. So they're basically tied in score, one line apart. Very, very close. Now, as far as Liquipedia is concerned, these two players have not played a match against each other, but you know, not every single match is on Liquipedia, so I'm very curious to see if they have played or if this is like, you know, a new thing here. So let's check. No ELO matches. No, maybe they've played in a friendly. Yeah, I think this is a first-time match. Huffaluffagus versus Tugi. I don't see anything in the match database, so it looks like it's another Matchagami. Yeah, it's crazy for as long as these two have been around, and how prolific they've been, that they haven't made it. They haven't played against each other, so that's pretty crazy. Branches Jade is chatting, but I've seen you chat before. So when I was like, hey, one of you 67 people on YouTube who hasn't chatted before, go ahead and chat. Literally no new people chatted. Oh, you're very YouTube people very quiet. Maybe it's better to let sleeping dogs lie. 551 for Tugi, 529 for Huffaluffagus. Huff looking to uncover here. Just a few lines away from that 19 transition speed increase. Oh, nice little adjust for Huff to make room for that blue J. Zoltan is here. All right, Tugi into 19 with a pretty healthy transition. I mean, they're both tied, but that Spire for Tugi, having to work around that. Actually set up now for a Tetris and gets it 605 for Tugi. And Huff with some work to do on this 19 board. Tugi setting up long bar, column 9, long bar over column 10, Tetris 631 for Tugi. Huff now flat and clean and Tetrising at 617. All right, Ferd Mertz, Trav Weave is chatting. Russell W is chatting now. Look at all these chatters. Russell says, I'm usually in Zen mode watching the Tetris. Got it. Makes sense. Well, maybe some people are asleep. They're falling asleep to it. It's soothing. My soothing voice. Oh my God. God help you if you try to fall asleep to this. 769 for Tugi, 730 for Huffaluffagus. Tetris is on level 23 where we're at now. Or we're 28,800, so it's about a one Tetris lead or so for Huff. And yeah, Tugi with that S piece gonna miss on that left side. He's gonna spin tuck it over there. Will leave one little gap, but that could have been so much worse. So Tugi with that fun spin tuck, just to try to do something to rectify that situation over there. All right, 867 for Tugi, 850 for Huffaluffagus. Manny the Obius says, I'd rather chat on YouTube. Welcome, Manny Obius. Nickel Undertale is here. All the stars are here. Tetris for Huffaluffagus, 944 on 25, 930 for Tugi on 25. So Huff now in the lead. Tetris for Tugi on 26. Tugi basically one away. And now with that double, I think a Tetris will... Yeah, here it is. And here is the max out for Tugi. A02 on 27. Huff with some gaps. Little down sacking to do. Board still low, though. And just trying to shuffle this whole thing around so we can start scoring again. Tugi's board getting up pretty high, but finds a couple of good pieces. So let's see if we can close this out and bring this down. Oh my goodness, that triple for Tugi. 2 burns to go for Tugi. Can he open up that right side? Can a bar get over? Yes, it can. Tugi going to bring this down and get one last Tetris. He's going to top out at A68. I mean, great survival up at the top there, but once 29 hit, it was really tough. Chasedown target A69 for Huffaluffagus. A69 is the target. And so Huff with a lot of runway here and also a lot of experience. Just, perfect clear with a double. And also a lot of experience just playing, Chasedown Tetris single double on 29. Of course, Huff was involved in a historic game against Eric ICX when Eric set the level record in a CTM match in an uncapped game. Huff was the opponent and got pretty deep as well. A 51 for Huff. Oh no. So this is dire. And no, that is going to be a top out for Huff, and Tugi is going to survive. So Tugi did just enough. Huff could not complete the chase down despite stacking low and safe and just kind of spiraled. See, it's not a gimme. Tugi would like to wrap it up right now against, of course, a dangerous opponent, a two-time Masters event winner. Tugi, one win away from clinching his first ever top 8 in a Masters event. All right, a couple Tetrises on the board for Huffaluffagus. There is the second one for Tugi as well. Tugi, of course, made his reputation as a DAS player, as the winner of one of those legendary CT DAS test tournaments back in 2022. And has several high finishes in DAS tournaments. But now, taking on rolling, and Tugi does seem to be, really every month that I see Tugi is a little bit cleaner, a little bit better. So I don't know, sky's the limit for Tugi. See what he can do here in game number 3. Huff, of course, the veteran, the two-time champion. A lot of experience in these kind of situations. 140 for Huff, 121 for Tugi. All right, 169 Tugi, 186 for Huffaluffagus. As we get underway here in game number 3. Oh, was there a Vitz, Jasmine? I missed it. Sometimes I fantasize about just not having to run anything. I can just sit here and there'll be a whole production booth and directors switching scenes, and I don't have to do a single thing but stare at Tetris. I would love that to be a thing. Alas, I got to do everything. 303 for Huff, 284 for Tugi. Well, maybe we can cut some kind of deal with Red Bull or something. What would they pay me for? Oh, well, for my winning personality. All right, a skimming a Tetris for Tugi, 331, and another Tetris, 354. Huff gets one as well, and another 373. Tetris up 419, 400 for Tugi. Same line count, 19,000 point lead for Huffaluffagus. Tetris Tugi 423, 420 for Huffaluffagus. So these are excellent paces. You know, around 90 lines in the 400s. That's flat over there for Tugi. Yeah, he's just going to take the burn. Why not? All right, still about a 16,000 point lead. Yeah, it's crazy to me that these players have never played against each other before, or at least there's no recorded matchup. Maybe they've played in some friendly or something that wasn't on record, but there doesn't seem to be a record of these two having played. And, you know, they've been around for a while. I mean, Tugi was in, you know, CTWC in 2020 in the online years. So obviously have been playing for at some point before that. And both of these players played in that as well. So yeah, it's just kind of weird they've never played each other. But then again, I guess Tugi's spending most of his time in the DAS world. And Tugi maybe not as voluminous. Oh, I wonder who has actually played more matches. Let's see. Tugi. Well, Tugi's got a lot of matches here. 386 matches in the database. And Huff with 397. So yeah, pretty darn equal. 639 transition for Huffaluffagus. That speed is increased. And 597 transition for Tugi. So very, very healthy transitions. Tetris for Tugi, 647. There's one for Huffaluffagus, 697. Vandy, what's your favorite pizza? Do you ever eat spinach one? Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's a pizza place nearby here in Austin called Home Slice, and they have a it's like a sausage, ricotta, and red pepper pizza, and that is one that I order if I get pizza. That is the one I'm craving. 780 for Huffaluffagus, 754 now, 781 for Tugi. And then what you do is you dump you dress a salad, and then you put it on top of the pizza, eat that salad off of there. And then it kind of gets some of the dressing onto the pizza, then you eat the pizza, and that is the way to go. 839 for Tugi, 838 for Huff. So super close in score, both just about that same line count. Huff going to get a Tetris. Tugi 898, 870 for Huffaluffagus. Tetris for Huff, 900,000, 900,000 for Tugi. They're separated by 180 points at the same line count. All right, both players with some cleanup to do. Relatively low on the board. Long bar down the middle is going to help Huff out a lot. Oh, Hector is here. Welcome, Hector. Dirty Tetris, Huffaluffagus, 3 rows off the bottom, column 10. And so now Tugi is out of the dig, and yeah, kind of a dependent board there, T-dependent. So no great place for squares. Long bar gets down for a Tetris for Tugi. Huff has got the max out, A20. Tugi is 1 away, but not quite ready. Another Tetris for Huff, A58. Tetris for Huffaluffagus, A92 now into level 28. 9 lines to go until the 29 speed increase. The speed is going to double. Tugi with a Tetris has the max out into 28. Tetris Huff B67 into 29. That's a 1.1 million. Tugi with, yeah, Tetris into 28, A78. That's a 1,078,000 for Tugi. But Tugi still trying to bring this down. Oh no, gonna miss with that S piece, and this board is spiraling. That is gonna be a top out for Tugi at A90. Huff, you are good in game number 3. So, yeah, you are good. Zallo, what's your favorite pizza? Do I ever eat a spinach one? Yeah, I would, I guess. All right, Huff getting out. I didn't think Huff was going to get out of this, but Huff going to mullen it out. Try to get out of it, but no. Tugi, 2 games to 1. Tugi still on match point. Spinach one for as long as they don't overdo the cottage cheese. Put cottage cheese on pizza? Do you mean ricotta? You wouldn't put cottage cheese on a pizza, right? That's runny. Or at least I don't know where you're from. Maybe that's common wherever you're from, but that does not sound appetizing. I mean, there's not a big, difference between cottage cheese and ricotta, but maybe they're the same thing, but variants of each other. I don't know. Ricotta, cottage cheese. I don't know. But I do like ricotta. I'm a big fan. Tugi setting up the Vits and fills it in. Beautiful Vits. Jasmine, I'm sure, likes it. What the... Could be. Don't know what the hell that white thing is. Yeah, it's ricotta cheese. Almost certainly. Tetris Tugi, 121. Tetris Huff, 82. Gets a Tetris 104, but has to use a square to cover a gap there. So just going to uncover that. All right, Tugi with the S spin. And Huff with the long bar over to the left, kind of diving board a little bit. That's okay. Tetris Huff, 135, 191 for Tugi. Came here for the Tetris, stayed here for the Vandy cheese hot takes. These are not hot takes. I don't think saying that cottage cheese should not be on a pizza is a hot take. That is a very cool take. All right, Huff is open in column 3, 3 rows off the bottom for a Tetris. Has to take a triple, but still open for that. And we are getting droughted here. Players trying to survive. And long bars incoming. Tugi got 2 Tetrises off those bars. Huff got 1. And another instance of being a little bit delayed piecewise, so I had to make sure I didn't spoil the long bars. Barrett says, I don't want hot cottage cheese. Yeah, hot cottage cheese does not sound good. I mean, maybe there's some use for it. I know it's kind of a viral, like, TikTok ingredient the last year or so. So a lot of people doing stuff with cottage cheese recipes and things like that. But that does not sound good. Tetris for Hufflepuffus 232. 324 for Tugi. So about a 90,000 point lead for Tugi. But Tugi, slightly worse board than Huff has. Ricotta is good. They do put cottage cheese in lasagna? What? Really? What? That doesn't sound nice at all. As opposed to ricotta cheese? 314 for Huff. Doc Pie loves it. 363 for Tugi. People are like either or. This is totally new information. Cottage cheese in lasagna? Question mark. Oh my god. All right, I looked up recipes here. Lasagna, oh, dirty Tetris for Huff, 346, 422 for Tugi. Several of these recipes say the same thing, which is, oh, you don't even taste the cottage cheese. It's like they're apologizing for putting cottage cheese in the recipe. 372 for Huffaluffagus. So if it's an ingredient that several recipes are apologizing for, maybe it's not the best ingredient. All right, Tugi going for it here. 451. Now 476 on level 20. Guys, it's just the Masters top 16. So, we're just going to look up cottage cheese lasagna recipes. No problem. What? This is normal. Tetris for Tugi, 531. 430 for Huffaluffagus. All right, Tetris is for both. 591 for Tugi, almost a 100,000 point lead. All right, Tetris, Tugi, Tetris, Huff. Still about 100,000 point lead, 97,000 points ahead or so for Tugi. Level 24 for Huff. Tetris for Tugi, 709. Oh, Huff with a square spire. This is tricky business. And Tugi, kind of tricky business right here as well. So both players in digs. This could be the moment of the match. Tugi bringing his down. Huff bringing his down. And quick bar for Tugi would really help out a lot, but has to cover that right side. Oh no, oh no, just a bunch of bars in a row. Like, is that like three or four bars in a row or something like that? So Chasedown target for Huff is 729. That is the target. Yeah, we know it wasn't a delayed with bits. Has anyone here had Hot Pockets? Chen, they're like one of the most popular junk foods. Yeah, I'm sure someone among the 200 people watching has had a Hot Pocket. 729 for Huffaluffagus. One more Tetris would do it. And yeah, Huff is good with the chase down here, and we are going to a decider. And I think it is a reverse decider situation here. Let's get them counted down. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. We should blame Crinkle. I don't blame Crinkle. Crinkle is allowed to run a server and have a nice server and community. There's no blame. We just got to be better. One of the things that I don't like about Discord Nitro and Boost system is like if you know, one thing, like you have a custom server URL if you're tier 3 Discord server, like boosted with 14 boosts, but if you drop it, then you lose your URL and someone else can take it from you. So how are you supposed to like do anything with like branding or anything permanent, any permanent assets with your Discord like server URL? It is ridiculous to make it tied to like people boosting it and it gets unboosted. It's really stupid. Like, can I just buy that for a monthly amount rather than I have to cajole people into, oh, you must get this thing from Discord and then you must apply like it's ridiculous. $138 for Tugi, $118 for Huffaluffagus. I mean, I guess I can just buy more boosts or something. I don't know. It's just a dumb system. Like, can I just pay for the features that I want rather than, you know, being shunted over to the boost economy? You can buy boosts. Like, yeah, I just want to buy the feature. There's a boost tariff war incoming, maybe. Well, it is a decider right now between Tugi and Huffaluffagus. 218 for Huff, 253 for Huff. Tugi was up 2-0 in this match. Now it is tied. So Tugi looking to close this out. Get a top 8 berth. Huff looking to do some damage in this tournament. Maybe try to get back into the semis and finals. Get a shot at another title. You can pay $15 a month to get your own personal tag on Discord. I mean, that's just $15 to have a little graphic next to your name. I mean, it's just so weird. I guess people do that on Twitter. Tetris for Huff, 356, 334 for Tugi. Yeah. Well, I'm saying, I'm not saying you're doing it, but it just seems like a lot. In this economy, you get other things on Twitter. Yeah, you get to post longer posts and you can monetize and things like that. 403 for Tugi, 406 for Huffaluffagus. Well, they've got you locked in, right? On Discord, like you get, we've had a server over there since before I was around, and now we're locked in. What are you gonna do? Like say, we're just abandon this server with years and years of history and memories, and like, yeah, I know you're locked in. 454 for Huff through 98, 472 through 72. What? For Tugi. Chen says, I'd rather spend the money for a tier 3 sub on monthly Tetris. Yeah, I agree. That wouldn't be bad, actually, a tag system on Twitch. I mean, if people are going to pay for a little graphical pixels next to their name, I mean, if you're going to do it, let's do it on Twitch. Why not? Let's go for it. That way you can, I mean, I guess emotes are that, where you can rep your favorite channels that way. 543 for Tugi, 545 for Huff, so still pretty darn close. Yeah, just 2,000 apart. Same line count. All right, still really close, just a few lines away from 19, and long bar is a little hard to come by. Nice little spin there for Tugi, a tuck and a Tetris for Tugi. Both players on 600K transitions. That left side for Huff going to be a little tough with that Z. And now he's going to find some burns here. And really, Tugi and Huff almost on like identical down stacks here. Although Huff's is starting to climb a little bit. He's built up very much on the right side. And he's bringing it down. And Tugi is open and gets the Tetris 661. Huff's board kind of just treading water. A little bit of that left side is going to be cut off for Huff. And Huff is going to top out at 635. And Tugi will be moving on to the top 8 of Masters for the first time in his Masters career. Huffaluffagus, you played a great game. You were down 2-0, came roaring back, taking 2 in a row. But it is this young upstart Tugi who will be moving on. So GG's to you, Huffaluffagus. GG's Tugi. We'll watch you take a victory lap here. And we have 2 more matches today. Hope to see you again, Huff. Always a pleasure. Course, and yeah, I love the jammies. So, well, Tugi's just like, yeah, I was topping out anyway, but yeah, it's no big deal. I won, whatever. All right, let's get that 3 right next to your name. There you are. Look at that, beautiful. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.